Chud the Builder friend Jake Lane just popped up at Karmelo Anthony trial trolling. Chipping out. They say we chipping out. What?
This is the reason why Austin Metcalf is dead. Because this is a response.
What?
This is a response they teach their young people to have.
He came there to antagonize and then talking about we chipping.
This community does not teach its people to respect personal boundaries.
Nigga, personal boundaries? Bro, you popped up at they trial. What?
And that's why Austin Metcalf said, because of your failure as black parents.
Damn. This shit is crazy. This is crazy, y'all. Chill, bro. Chill, bro. We're trying to put hands on. Then peep these motherfuckers. Like, look at that shit, bro. You can tell he rocking with Jay Lane and Chud the Builder. They, yo, oh God, look at this shit, yo. Look. You already popped up at, they tried, like, Karmelo Anthony shit. It didn't go so well when he went to Chud the Builder trial date. Feel me? He got arrested. He started a rally, but it was dry. Nobody came. So he had to go exactly to Karmelo Anthony, who don't got nothing to do with Chud the Builder. Bro, he trolling. You talking about we chapping out. So y'all, look at this shit. So now we on Twitter with it, y'all. Y'all know you always got to go to Twitter, because this is where they actually be showing their racism at. Those white folks, they actually be, you know how Donald Trump be on Twitter. Everybody be on Twitter. Feel me? So this is a video of Karmelo Anthony in their trial. When you see what they is commenting, yo.
This person says, let them go mainstream with their racism. It's time America see these degenerates for what they are, who they are, and what they stand for. Can we now stop pretending that the vast majority of black people aren't harboring hate for whites, Asians, and Latinos? Open your eyes, America.
Yo, I swear, yo, them white folks, they want to be victims so bad. But mind you, this Jake Lane dude, he's not a white dude, y'all. He's a Jewish person acting like claiming to be a white supremacist, y'all. He's a Jewish guy claiming to be a white supremacist. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like this guy right here. This person right here is one of those white people, Jewish people who claim to be white supremacists. You heard me? I don't know what they doing this for.
1/4 Ashkenazi, just FYI. That makes sense. Very Jewish.
See?
Very Jewish. That makes sense. A white nationalist that's a Jew, that's crazy, bro.
He was not an aggressor. Karmelo was not an aggressor. He was minding his business when the boys came up to him.
We clap. We agree. Karmelo Anthony, we want free. We clap.
Besides Karmelo and his family.
That shit crazy.
We want free. We clap. We agree.
That's
Karmelo Anthony, we want free.
Who was the white boy though? Who was bro? You know what I mean? Like, shout out to bro with the monster drink. Hope he ain't Jewish. Alright, so look, y'all, more details came out about Karmelo Anthony case, you feel me? More details, actual details, and the details is looking real good on Karmelo side. Y'all remember last video wasn't looking too good, you feel me? Now that we actually dove into context, y'all figure out that whole time bro was supposed to be under that tent, and the white kids who did that shit to him wasn't even supposed to be at the track meet. Watch this shit, y'all.
Alternates, here's a portion of the prosecution's opening statement. They told this jury, we are all here because Karmelo Anthony decided to take a knife to a high school track meet and provoke another young man who he didn't know into touching him, holding an already open knife in his hand and plunging it into his heart. They went on to say that this man decided to commit an unjustified, provoked murder, and that this case has nothing to do with race. This is not self-defense. Let's talk about the prosecution's beginning of their case in front of this jury.
So, I mean, the prosecution's trying to make it seem like he went there with an open knife in his bag to cause a problem. I don't see it that way. It's a pocket knife. We're not talking about a machete. We're not talking about a dagger. We're not talking about a switchblade. We're talking about, an ordinary pocket knife that's used on a daily basis to do whatever utility you need to be done. So just by and I believe you're going to hear this from the defense, just by the virtue of there being an open pocket knife in a bag doesn't mean that he went there with the intent to harm someone.
Do you think that's effective? And is Karmelo Anthony going to have to take the stand to combat that?
Hi, Julia. I definitely think there's a damage that happens when you kind of over-exaggerate and emphasize things that aren't necessarily going to be consistent with what the defense is going to put forward. Karmelo Anthony was a good student. He worked. He came from a good family. He's got a support system. He participated in athletics. And you want the jury to believe that he really came to school with the intention of, or a track meet with the intention of murdering somebody.
Now, mind y'all, I'm going to give you a little rundown of what happened, you felt me. Word through the grapevine. Karmelo, it was raining outside. Karmelo Anthony went underneath another team's tent. You feel me? Because it was raining. He went underneath another team's tent. Two of the kids, which was the white boys, they then approached Karmelo, you know what I mean? Because he under his tent. It's another team. They approached him, told him, bro, you guys to leave. They approached him. You guys to get from under this tent. It's raining outside. Bro didn't go for it. Karmelo didn't go for it. Metcalf then put hands on him, and that's when the altercation then arrived. Mind you, Karmelo Anthony is 5'6", 130. Metcalf he was 6'2", 215, if I'm not mistaken. This is what the jury and the judges and the police report. This is what they got. This is what they saying, yo.
Under their school,
trying to kill somebody.
Austin Metcalf, the stabbing victim, and team were under their school tent at that track meet. That Karmelo Anthony went under Metcalf's team tent during bad weather. Metcalf asked Anthony to leave the tent, prompting a fight where Anthony stabbed Metcalf. It was a question of why Karmelo would have been under the tent. And I know I mentioned on air even that it could have been because it was raining, and we found out today that both sides say it was raining really bad, and the school that Karmelo Anthony went to was not one that had a tent. Is that important? Is the reason that he was under that tent important when we have this issue of the prosecution saying he went there to provoke a murder?
Why would you there in the first place?
I agree with you more. I mean, it's raining out. There's a tent. You seek shelter. Right. I don't think that the fact that his school did not have a tent has anything to do with it. There was a tent. It was raining. He went there, and we just found out during the opening statements that he actually had a friend in the tent that he met and spoke to.
This is defense attorney Mike Howard saying self-defense is useless if you wait until it is too late to use it. In that moment, when Austin makes the first physical contact, he reacts in a split, he, meaning Karmelo Anthony, reacts in a split second of fear and chaos. Well, why didn't he just walk away? There's an answer. After Karmelo defended himself, he ran. He didn't stab twice. He dropped the knife right by the tent on the bleachers. Instead of running to the exit, he goes onto the track and walks right up to a coach and stayed with this coach until that officer arrived. Now we're getting more details, at least from the defense perspective, about what Karmelo Anthony did immediately after the stabbing. How important is that?
I think it's very important, and I think that the prosecution is going to harp on the idea that, well, if you're fleeing, then that we can use that as evidence that you have a consciousness of guilt. What the defense is going to say is exactly what you heard in the opening arguments. He wasn't fleeing at all. He was running to safety. He was running to the safety of an adult.
Now, I ain't even going to lie to you. Karmelo Anthony, his team did his thing, you feel me? Y'all know the word through the grapevine. Karmelo Anthony, he just stand the third. He that usual suspect, you know what I mean? But his team, they got word through the grapevine of actually what happened and so forth and so forth. Watch this shit.
They did a Uno reverse on this narrative. Now, the same people who said Karmelo Anthony is guilty because he wasn't supposed to be at the track meet and he wasn't supposed to be under somebody's Karmelo, right? He was actually scheduled to compete at the track meet. Now, let's go. Now, Austin Metcalf tells Karmelo, you can't be here, you need to leave. Austin Metcalf makes the first physical contact in spite of the warning, touch me and find out. In that split second, Karmelo has a decision to make, how and when to act. So he reacts in a split second of fear and chaos. He immediately says,
"Yo, this is for the defense Mike Howard, Representative Karmelo Anthony. That's his representative."
I was defending myself. Now, here's the thing. We finally got the official measurements. Karmelo Anthony was 5'6", 130 pounds. And Austin Metcalf was 6'2", 215.
Then we're kind of find out the two boys, Metcalf, the two white boys, they wasn't even supposed to be at the track meet. Them boys got in trouble for some type of fishing problem. Got in trouble with their coach. They wasn't even supposed to be there. Whole time, Karmelo Anthony, he had a track meet. He was there with his team. It just happened to be raining outside. Bro, all I'm saying is all that usual suspect thought I don't. They was trying to slam Karmelo Anthony like 2-3 days ago. You feel me? Before the actual opening statement, before Karmelo Anthony team get to actually being able to prove their side of the point, boy, they was slamming Karmelo Anthony through the media. You hear me? Those white folks. Check Twitter. I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think gonna happen, Karmelo Anthony. Y'all think he gonna be cut or not? Cause he might. I see him getting away. It's just that they in Texas where they are. Texas is a funny state with it. You feel me? Let me know in the comments, y'all. We out with this motherfucker.